we're gonna do this one. Hi everyone, it's Nicole and welcome to my channel. Today I have something a little bit different for you. In my area I have quite a few thrift stores and I like going every once in a while, and recently when I was there looking around, I noticed that 2 of them were having a summer sale and the whole entire store was going to be half off on a certain day of the week. So of course I had to go back just to see what they had and to look around. So I did just that. I do have some just a little bit of video footage that I am going to sneak in here after this intro, and then we're gonna take a look and see what I got. Here's the footage of what I got while I was shopping, and then we will catch back up and see what I got.
You want me to bring it up?
gonna be $3. I want to know what this. Ew, that's really scratchy yarn. Yeah, no, it's really scratchy. No, thank you. What else we got though? Royal Tweed. Plymouth Yarn Company. Same thing, it'll only be $3. Yeah, that's a steal, but it's really scratchy too. With this bag, it would be $2.50. Little friends. There's 1, 2, 3 of those. And a bunch of neutrals, but I don't need anything like that. We'll leave them for somebody else. That would be $2.50. There's some thicker yarns. I don't need anything like that. These though, I'm taking all of the knit picks. The Line Band Basics. I'm gonna take this faux fur too. Not only was it an extra half off, you guys, they were doing a pick an egg from a basket for the first so many customers in the door. And I got to pick an egg and I got an extra $5 off my purchase. There was actually a line at the door just a minute ago before they opened. But yeah, let's go see if we can find anything. We'll come back and look into some in a minute. I want to go see if they have anything out with the yarn first.
Hello, madam. How are
Hey,
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hello.
It's really worn and frayed. Darn. Oh, that one's a whole vibe. I wish somebody was here to tell me what to do. I think I'm gonna take them both. Ugh. So much. I don't know which one to get. I think I'm gonna get them both. This one is such a whole like 90s retro vibe. I felt the need to like neon sleeve this one, so Oh, I think we're just gonna get them both. Yeah, we got a couple things. Not everything we're gonna do thrift flip with, but we got a couple things. Did you see the yarn? Did you see the yarn? Can I tell you, I am so excited about the yarn. I'm gonna show you the yarn and then I'm going to freeze the yarn. I'm gonna start by saying that. My goal is to repurpose, recycle, reuse. I know acrylic biodegrading doesn't happen, so my goal is to actually thrift more and try to find different ways to use things. I was very, whoops, that fell. Very excited and blessed to find 2 full bags of yarn, which included Knit Picks acrylic that I have never tried before. So I am super stoked. So here's what I got. Oh, and Noro. Hold on, we're gonna start with that. Noro's too bougie for me. Here it is right here. It is Noro, and this is called Silk Garden Solo. 45% silk, 45% mohair, 10% wool. There's not enough here to make a whole bunch of stuff, but I think that I might make a really cute headband or bandana for myself. I am so excited about this. I just wanted it to try and see what it's like. Now, also, both of these bags did come from the same place. All of this was marked $1.99, so I paid 99 cents a ball for all of what I'm about to show you. So I got a little skein of Noro, and then we have Knit Picks Bravo worsted. Now this is all worsted, so this is Dove Heather. This was 99 cents. And then we have also from Knit Picks Bravo worsted in persimmon. And then also from Knit Picks, hold on, I know there's more. I just gotta filter through this stuff. We have Peacock. And we have Silver. And we have Camel Heather. I think there's one more in here. Yes? No, yes? No. I think that might be, is that one? No. Okay, that was the Knit Picks. So I got 5 different colors of Knit Picks Bravo worsted yarn. 99 cents. Oh my God, I am so excited to try this. This is so soft and all the squish. Ah. Okay. Next, I found this random ball of, this is Bernat. This is a part of their tweed. I don't remember the name of the color. Dogs. Anyways, this is a part of their tweeds. This is like the pinky off-whitish color. This is probably, I would guesstimate about 2/3 of a ball. So this was also 99 cents because it was also half off. And then I found some funsies, which I have no clue what I'm going to do with it, but I think that it would be fun to play with. It is the Lion brand Fun Fur. See what the details are on this, or all the stickers covering it up? All I can read is that it's 60 yards. The bulk of them have the stickers covered up. But anyways, this is what it is. It's the Lion brand Fun Fur. And I picked up 4 of these. So I don't know, we'll give it a try. I'm about to experiment with anything for 99 cents when it comes to that. And then lastly, I got some Lion brand Basic Stitch anti-pilling. So we got the Basic Stitch anti-pilling acrylic in pomegranate. And this one, I believe, is also pomegranate. Yes, we have 2 in pomegranate. Next, we have 2 of the Basic Stitch anti-pilling Lion brand in the color Olive. And then we have 2 Lion brand Basic Stitch anti-pilling in the color Charcoal Heather. So there's 2 skeins each of those. Look how pretty that color combination is. Kind of rings Christmas. And then we have the Basic Stitch Premium from Lion Brand in the color Saffron. So these are all of the Lion Brand basic stitch colors. I couldn't pass this up for 99 cents a piece. I know I put myself on a yarn buying diet, but for 99 cents for 99 cents for anti-pilling acrylic, I have been hoarding my basic stitch in skin tones because I want to make a daisy cardigan with them, so I had to. That's all there is to it. I had to. I did find a pair of circular knitting needles. They were 99 cents. They're marked 10.5 Crystal Palace. I mean, they're 10.5-inch circulars, but I'm not sure what the point sizes are. I mean, if I had to guess, they're probably a 6 or an 8. But I don't have a sizing. So, but for 99 cents, and I'm going to teach myself how to knit, I grabbed them. I want to try to do some thrift flip. And I found a couple things that I thought would be really fun to thrift flip. Thrift flip. And when I say thrift flip, I say that loosely in a way that I want to add sleeves to these shirts. Let's put it to you that way. So my intention is to remove the short sleeve and crochet long sleeves. So I'm going to remove the sleeves, crochet them on. I have a denim. Hold that thought. Yeah, I thought I did. I have a red heart super saver in a denim color. Oh, it's not the same color denim blue that this is. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll use this, maybe I'll try to find a pink, I'm not sure. But I'm hoping with one skein I can get both sleeves plus a cuff out of it. That's my goal. We're gonna try this one first, because if I screw it up, I have other ones that I wanna do too, because I found these and I think they're so cute. Okay, but look at this one. How could I not? And do a long sleeve in like a mustard, red and yellow, alternating, like every other row change the color and make the sleeve that. But wait, this one I am super stoked about. It's not gonna fit me though, I don't think. So if it turns out, it'll probably end up in my Etsy. But I think I love Snoopy. Everything that I can find with Snoopy on it, from my wallpaper on my phone to t-shirts to sweatshirts, I buy it. Isn't he so cute? Okay, so if that one doesn't fit me, we'll probably put him in my Etsy shop. But I have the Big Twist Living rainbow yarn that I got before Joann's closed. And I think that would make some really fun sleeves on this. So I think that's what I'm gonna do with that one. And then I got two. Listen, we're hacking some sleeves on this one. This sleeve, she's coming off. She's gonna go. We're gonna crochet something beautiful, and then we're gonna figure out whether we're either going to reattach this cuff to said crochet sleeve, or if we're gonna leave this off and do a like a ribbed cuff. I'm thinking initially we're gonna see if we can reattach this, but I don't want to jump the gun because I'm not sure how intense it's going to be. And then where this one seemed very like laid back, everyday, this is the bleached 80s girl in me. Like stone washed, bleached out, same situation. A bell sleeve would also look cute on this one. I think neon yarns would look cute on this one. something very like crazy off the wall color. I'm trying to see if I have a colored like skein, but I don't, not right at hand. Like I'm thinking like vibrant colors, Lisa Frank. Whereas this one is more like natural browns, natural tones, navies, more like everyday colors kind of a thing. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think we should do? Should we leave the cuffs? Add them back on, try to add them back on? Just say nah and maybe like crochet our own? Do we want to try to do some kind of like fun applique? I don't know, but I really want to have some fun with this one. Gonna have some fun with this one. The other one I'm gonna keep it a little bit more laid back, but this one I really want to have some fun with. All I know is I'm crocheting some sleeves and we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do one of these projects in this video too. I've made my mind up. I really was hoping this would work, but it doesn't. But look at this one. We're gonna do this one. This one is so much fun. Oh my God, look how cute. Okay, yeah. Let's hack some sleeves and give this a try. So we're gonna lay it out. Let's see, let's take the sleeve off first. I'm gonna follow I'm feeling right around this hem. And it's lined up with the other side pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut. Tighten it too tight. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and trim off to the right of this seam. I'm not taking that seam off. I want that there to give some stability for whenever I start to crochet. So then it looks like that. So you can see how close I got to it, but I still left this factory seam. I think that that'll help give some stability to the stitching and it'll help strengthen that first round. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Follow the hard seam on the back. I can feel the back through, but I think it's gonna give me a little extra in the front that we might have to trim off. This front part has a little extra. We'll pull that off. Progress. Can we stretch this out over this mat? I mean, yep. All right, that worked. Can stretch an arm sleeve out over the edge of the mat. Okay. I literally put that over the whole edge of my mat. So that's how we're gonna do this. Now I am going to leave, I'm gonna go in about 3/8 to 1/2 of an inch. I'm gonna try to hold more close to that 3/8 of an inch. find out where my previous hole ended, which is right there. Notepad in front of me. I'm going to attempt to write down what I'm doing so that my second sleeve is going to be the same as the first sleeve. This isn't going to go well. Okay. I'm going to attach it starting in the armpit in hopes that that will help with the hiding of the strings and all of that jazz. Give it a go. I'm gonna do this base round of single crochets, and then I think we're gonna do maybe 1 or 2 rounds of the granny stitch. I think I'm just gonna do granny clusters. And once this first initial chain round is on there, I think it's gonna go pretty quick. All right, we are back at the beginning. Let me slip stitch this closed. I want to get you let's get a single crochet count for that first row. $69 single crochets. No, I lied, 70. 70 single crochets. So there's 70 single crochets going the whole way around. This is what I was worried about. And I was just going to frog it and take it out, but I wanted to show you that if you have too many stitches, this is what happens. It starts to fan. Like this sleeve is starting to do this. So I have way too many stitches right now, and I'm gonna actually do a decrease. It is the next day. Yesterday, I got through one side. And the more I started doing this, and the more I started really feeling the weight of the t-shirt, it was more of a very lightweight, thinner shirt. So I decided to keep it more short sleeve. I know why. This was probably at the thrift store. Do I still have it with me? No, I left it upstairs. No, I lied. This shirt, this was all the wider that sleeve is. I know I'm a big girl, but that's like my forearm. And this is an extra large shirt. And I typically wear between an extra large and a 2X. But the sleeve is what I'm guessing is why the person donated this. It was so small. So when this goes on and this goes to here, if you line the shoulder up at the top, this comes down and ends like right before the elbow, which I think is a nice short sleeve length. And I did do some decreasing with it. You can see that it kind of curves straight away and then it kind of flattens out a bit. The beginning of this, with using that rotary, there was just way too many holes for what I needed. So I think the next time around when I go to do something like this, I don't think I'm going to use the rotary to give it this many stitches. I think I'm going to make them on my own and make them fewer. So that's why there was so many decreases as it went. So this whole sleeve is complete. The dogs are filming too, I guess, today. And then I started on the left sleeve and I got to halfway through the third round and that finished a skein of yarn. So we made the whole first sleeve, 3 rounds into the second sleeve, and that finished one ball, which is 199 yards. So this is going to be very close to 2 of these. So if you're looking to do something similar to this using the rotary cutter, you're going to need around 400 yards. I mean, it's not going to obviously use it all because I did have some left over. So it's probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 375-ish is what I'm thinking. For the sleeve, I did write down what I did, if anyone is interested. If you want to take a screenshot of it, you're more than welcome to. Just make sure that you screenshot from here down. That way you don't have to come back to this spot in the video, and then I will explain how I did it really quick. So, rotary blade, I started with, this first row was 70 single crochets. Then I did the granny stitch decrease. Now, if you're familiar with the granny stitch decrease, the granny stitch, I can't speak today to save my life. The granny stitch decrease happens over the course of 2 rounds. There is a setup round and then the actual decrease round. So the setup round is the very first row where you're seeing the blue. For the setup round, I did 5 granny clusters. So that's 5 sets of your clusters of 3 double crochets. And then the setup. And the setup is this. I'm going to try to show you. It's really hard because these colors are dark. Right here. So this, I did 5 of these, and here's the setup. It's just 2 double crochets instead of 3. Just 2. And then I went back to the same repeat. So it was 5 granny clusters, 1 setup, which is just 2 double crochets and 1 stitch, not 3, just 2, and then 5 granny clusters. And I just repeated that the whole way around. And then the second round, which is the actual decrease, when you get to that spot, it's all the same. It's granny cluster after granny cluster, but when you get to that spot where this setup is, if you notice, all of the clusters are in between the clusters up until that setup. So when you come to this setup, you do the space here, then there's your 3, and instead of doing the space between this cluster of 3 and between this cluster of 2, you do the cluster of 3 in between those 2 double crochet, and then you skip that next space and go on to the other. So there's what it actually looks like as a decrease. So that's what I mean by it being a setup round and then an actual decrease round. Now, I did that setup round and decrease round 3 times. So that's a total of 6 rows. So my first 6 rows of this shirt was a setup, the decrease, the setup, the decrease, the setup, the decrease. From there, I did 7 rounds regular. Just now at the end of every round, I did not work continuously in a round. I slip stitched to join, chained 3, and turned my work. That way the seam all stayed under the armpit, because that's where I first started. I wanted the whole seam to stay under the arm so that you didn't see anything. So after the 6 setups, I did 7 rounds total of just granny clusters around. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After that 7 rounds, I did another granny cluster decrease setup and actual decrease round. So then I did the setup round for the decrease and then the actual decrease round again. So that's 2 rows, and then 2 rows of regular granny clusters, no decreasing, no nothing. And then I finished off with 2 rounds of single crochet. And the reason why I did 2 is because when I did the first one, the way that from flipping and rotating back and forth, the single crochet finished on the inside and I didn't like the way that it looked, so I did it again so that the outside actually had that finished single crochet stitch and not the back of the stitch. So that's why I did 2. So if you end up making yours a little longer and you add in an extra row of regular rounds or whatever, you may not need to do that 2 rows of single crochet at the end, all depending on how you end it. I ended it with the back of the stitch. I don't like looking at the back of the stitch. I wanted to see the front, so that's why I did the 2. So anywho, we are gonna finish, you're gonna attach this new ball, finish this out, and we have our first thrift flip. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm actually coming up on a decrease, and I wanted to show you what it actually looked like working it. So the previous row was our setup row. That's where we did the 5 clusters, and then the 6th one was just the 2 double crochet and 1 open space. So for the actual decrease row, I just finished a cluster here in the space provided, or the space before it. And typically when we do our granny clusters, we work in these spaces. Just like the row before, we work in those spaces. But when we do the decrease row, instead of working in between this space and this space, we're actually going to work the decrease in between these 2 double crochets. So when you finish your cluster of 3, instead of going in between here, how we naturally want to work our double crochet, we're going to go in between these 2 stitches here. And we're going to work our cluster of 3. So we're going to work our granny cluster just like we normally would, but we're going to do it in between those 2 double crochet stitches. Now, that means we skipped this gap here. And then we're also going to skip this space after it. So then we're going to start working in this one here. So our next cluster will go in that space. And that is what creates the granny cluster decrease.
So I have the 3 heads, all the arms, the horns, the part of the bag. I did the ears, the nose, what else? And then I did 1 leg for each of the cows. So this bag is just full of all the cow parts. We're doing pretty good. I'm thinking we can finish all the cows today. We should definitely finish them today. I don't see why we wouldn't finish them today. So we're gonna go ahead and finish these guys. I'm gonna go in a little crochet. crocheted in, but I just do an extra round and I just crochet the arms in because I'd rather crochet them in than sew them on. It's just me personally. And then also body done and the banana body done so that we can sew everything together and make cute little fruit cows. But I'm gonna go eat some lunch because I'm hungry right now. We have 3 cow bodies all complete. Boom. Now I'm gonna take a little break and just go on TikTok. I think it's well deserved. We have 3. I did so much today. We did all the parts this morning and now it's just about to be 3 and we have all 3 cow bodies done. That's great work. That's great work. And then I fell asleep for like an hour. And now we're up and now we're gonna finish the
All right, you guys, we did it. We finished it. Oh my god, I am so in love with how this came out. I'm glad I decided to stick with the short sleeve. I think it fits a lot better with how the thin style of this t-shirt fits, so I think that it fits better. As far as the pattern goes, I did try to explain it a little bit, and I did leave it up if you wanted to take a screenshot. However, I know that was very, very random, and my notes were probably a hot mess. So I'm actually going to type them in the description box down below. So if you want to save this video in your watch list or watch later or favorites or whatever you want, so that you can come back to it, you don't have to find it in the video. You can just look down in the description box and I'll put it down there. If I calculated everything correctly for my yarn usage, I did use 1 entire skein of this. Now this is a smaller skein. This is only 199 yards. I used 1 full one and 1/3 of a second one. And if my mathed correctly, that was a total of approximately 266 yards. So if you have a red heart skein, I think they're right around that mark. I have a brand new, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. It's 252, so it's gonna be really close. You can make it work very easily though by adjusting those the 7 rounds that we did that were consistent. Pull back and just do 2 less rounds on each side and you could probably make up for that. So it could easily turn into a 1 skein flip. Which is probably what I'm going to try to do on my next shirt. I'm going to size up my hook. That is one thing that I do want to do, is size up my hook. I feel that this is a very dense feeling to it. So first thing first, we're going to size up the hook on the next one. Second thing is I am not going to use the rotary. I'm going to punch holes myself and I'm going to space them out, and I'm probably going to do half as many. They're very close together on this, and it's just too close in my opinion, and that did a lot of this decreasing. So on the next one, on the next video, maybe we'll do another t-shirt and we'll hand punch them and do about half as many and figure out what those are. But if you do use the rotary, this is what I followed for that. It'll be in the description down below. So with that being said, I love this. I love how it turned out. This is going to live on my new mannequin, so she is not naked anymore. And I am most likely going to list this in my Etsy shop. I am not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I love Snoopy, so it might hang with me for a little while before I decide to get rid of it. I don't know. I had a ton of fun doing this. I think that I might try to make this a mini series or of some kind on my channel. We are going to do the Good Vibes t-shirt. We are going to do the 2 jean jackets. I am going to bust out the Noro yarn. So in the future, we're going to do at least those. And then we'll go from there. So thank you so much for joining me. If you are new to my channel, I would really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. I am working towards my first 1,000 subscribers here on the channel, and we are getting closer and closer and closer. And I appreciate every single one of you who already do subscribe. And until next time, see you soon.